Chandigarh mayoral elections controversy has come under the lens of the Supreme Court, which has declared that it would not allow the murder of democracy. And in fact, it has ordered the Registrar General to secure all records by 5 p.m. today. The court will hear the case on the 12th of February. Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, has said what the returning officer did was like murder of democracy. I have my colleague Mohammad Ghazali joining us on the broadcast. Ghazali, this is a big relief to the Congress Aam Aadmi Party. Of course, this was the first time that both parties got together and they fielded a joint candidate. But of course, BJP won the polls with both parties, with the opposition parties sort of blaming it on tampering. But this is some relief to both Aam Aadmi Party and Congress. How are the parties reacting to this?
Yeah, big relief for Aam Aadmi Party and Congress, because on 30th of January, when the results were out for the mayoral polls, it appeared it was a big masterstroke or a kind of success for BJP. But now Aam Aadmi Party and Congress claims that the Supreme Court's order, even the verbal observation of how it's a murder of democracy and how the presiding officer kept looking into the camera while tampering with the ballot paper, has come as an embarrassment for them. But the written orders also pulls up the High Court as well. The Supreme Court's order says that an interim relief could have been granted by the High Court where the Aam Aadmi Party and Congress approached them on 30th of January, but it was not given to them. And in order also contains that how the presiding officer has been asked to appear in person in the Supreme Court, which is scheduled to be on the next Monday, that is 12th of February. But a big relief, because it appeared on 30th of January that the BJP has managed to win the mayoral polls, and for the first time this India bloc came together, and despite that having the numbers on their side, they lost the election. But some relief from the Supreme Court, but we'll have to see that what will be the final order, because the petition actually challenged that there should be a re-election of the mayoral polls. So now perhaps the presiding officer will be asked to prove in the court that how those 8 votes were declared invalid, what were the reasons behind it, because the Chief Justice himself has been quoted in the proceedings saying that the presiding officer kept making marks on the ballot paper, which was not the due process. So let's see what happens on 12th of Feb, but a big relief and a big shot in arm for the opposition parties who have repeatedly claimed that the electoral process have not been
Ghazali, one of the demands that the Aam Aadmi Party had placed was also that the re-election should happen, but also it needs to happen under a court-monitored committee. For that matter, they said that a presiding officer should not be part of this and a retired judge could be part of the process. So has there been any development on that front?
So that was included in the petition which was filed in the High Court here in Punjab and Haryana High Court, but that was not addressed because the High Court had then said that it should be video recorded, the entire proceeding should be videographed, and perhaps that went against the presiding officer, because the same video evidence was played in front of the Supreme Court today, showing that how presiding officer was tampering with the ballot paper. But in this petition also, perhaps the only claim which the Aam Aadmi Party and the councillor who has filed this petition has asked for a re-election. So perhaps not under any court observation as such.
Right.
So we'll have to see that what the court orders in such circumstances after hearing from the presiding officer and his reasoning for declaring those 8 votes as invalid.
Right. Thank you, Ghazali, for joining us with those details.